Now this lesson is about mass and capacity. So just to remind you, mass is to do with kilograms and grams, and capacity is to do with litres and millilitres. Okay, the main thing, the most important thing you have to remember is that 1000 grams equals 1 kilogram, and that 1000 millilitres equals 1 litre, okay. So if you don't know those, you have to learn those because they are the most important thing. The first thing we'll do, I think, is to do an example of a mass question. So suppose the question says it's got two parcels, or two parcels, and one weighs 1.3 kilograms and the second weighs 600 grams, and it might say how much do they weigh all together. Now all together means add, so you put 1.3. now 600 grams, we know that 600 grams is 0.6 kilograms, so therefore when we add 3, add 6 is 9, and then we add 1, add 0 is 1. So therefore the answer is 1.9 kilograms. Now another way of doing this is to say, right, let's add 600 grams and let's write 1.3 kilograms as grams. Now 1 kilogram is 1000 and 0.3 is 300 grams. So we're adding this to 1300 grams. And we simply go 2 zeros is 0, 2 zeros is still 0, 6 and 3 is 9, 1 adds nothing up there is 9, it is 1 rather. So we've got 1900 grams. Okay, now either way is the correct answer, but you must put whether it's kilograms or grams. Another question would be, they might have a picture of some scales and it might have 0 kilograms here and 1 kilogram here. No, I tell you what, let's do something different. Let's make that 2 kilograms. 2 kilograms, and then there might be a mark here, and then a mark here, and then a mark here. And what it might tell you to do is to draw an arrow on the scale where you think this answer would be 1.9 kilograms or 1900 grams. Okay, now first thing to do is, if there are gaps in the scale, I would fill those in. So you've got 0 kilograms there and 2 kilograms there, so exactly halfway is going to be 1. Okay, so that's 1 kilogram just there. And then halfway between 0 and 1 is going to be half a kilogram. Oops, that's a 5. It's going to be half a kilogram. Or if you want to, you can write it as 0.5. And then this one up here, the halfway between 1 and 2 is of course 1 and a half, and another way of writing that in decimals is 1.5. okay, now 1.9, here we go, 1.9 is more than 1.5, okay, but it's less than 2 kilograms. So 1.9 is going to be about here. So when it says draw the arrow, you draw the arrow like this, like this, like that. Okay, now so long as you get it roughly in the right place, then you'll be okay. If you put it right down here near to the 1.5, then you'll get it wrong. They'll say you've got it wrong because it's too close to 1.5. That would be about 1.6. If you put it right on the line, they'll say, no, that's wrong as well, because that's 2 kilograms. So that won't work out either. Okay, so you've got to be fairly careful when you estimate what you're doing. Okay, now we're moving on to capacity. And remember, capacity is to do with litres and millilitres. There are 1,000 millilitres in a litre. So a capacity question is you might have a picture of a cup and another cup, okay? And they might tell you how much is in each cup, or they might have a scale that would give you an idea of how much is in each cup. Okay, da, 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 da. And then this is dum, 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 and then like that. Okay, now on this scale we can see that in this cup there is less than 0.5 of a litre, which is 500 millilitres, by the way. 500. So it's less than 5, and there are these handy marks down here, so that's 100, 200, 300, 400. So this one actually you could work out to be 400, and this one, actually I've just realised I've made this very, very easy for you, never mind. This one is, this is 100, just here, can you see? This mark here, no, this mark here, yeah, this mark is 100 millilitres, 200, 300, 400, and this is 500, and we know that's 500 because it's got 0.5. So therefore this is going to be 600, that's 0.6. So this is 0.6 litres, which is of course 600 millilitres. And the question might say, what happens if you pour both of those cups into this? Where will the level be? And it will ask you to mark the level. Well, 400 plus 600, we don't need to do column addition to tell us that that is 1,000. So 1,000 millilitres, we know that 1,000 millilitres is 1 litre, and they have given us 1 litre. So therefore we would mark just there with a nice straight line. You don't have to shade it in, that's all you have to do. Now let's suppose that these instead of it being 400, it was 300 in the left hand cup, so that would be just here. And let's suppose in the right hand cup it was a bit more. Let's suppose it was no, actually let's keep it where it is. It was 0.6, so that's 600. So the total then is 900 millilitres. Okay, now this makes it much more difficult, because if you have to put a line, then this is this point here is 1 litre. This is 0.5 litres just down here. So if we convert that into millilitres, that's 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. So 900 would be where the dotted line is. Draw it with a ruler. Now, obviously, in your if you haven't got a printer at home and you can't print these questions off, then you won't be able to do this question quite so well. But if you just, for this question, if you just draw on your paper, if you just draw a fairly simple cup and you just put 1.0 there and then draw the line across, something like that, that will be good enough. Okay, but do be very careful to read the scale correctly.